Hi and welcome to Yorkie TV. I'm Ava Farrelly.
And I'm Dan Carter.
On today's show we discuss Brexit with a bevvy twist.
And we'll be joined by our political correspondent, Aleshia, telling us about the role youth can play on the upcoming elections.
Stay tuned for more.
Now, how much do you actually know about the European elections?
With the European elections coming up, we're encouraging young people to get out and have their say. Our reporter Beth spoke to students at York St John University to find out if they're voting and how much they actually know about the election.
Elections for the European Parliament will be held today, in which voters will choose 73 MEPs and 12 multi-member regional constituencies. We spoke to young people in York about previous votes, whether they'll be voting today, and how much they feel they know about the European election. Did you vote in the local election?
No, I haven't, because I've had a lot going on with university. I'm doing my masters, so I feel like that kind of took over a lot of my life. Like I had the little poll thing, but it just kind of got put to one side, and then that was it.
I did, yeah.
And what made you vote?
Well, I felt the need because obviously women fought to get the vote, so it's important to vote for that.
I didn't, because I'm not from here, but you are.
I haven't yet. No, I haven't actually, at all.
At all?
No, I haven't. I just forgot about it. So with dissertations and stuff, I didn't have time to do it.
And did you vote in the European referendum?
Again, no. I mean, I'm not proud, but no. But again, university got in the way.
Yes.
Yes.
And why did you choose to vote in that?
It was important.
I felt like it was something that could impact my life quite a lot, so I chose to vote on it.
I didn't know.
Okay, how come?
I don't think I was actually the right age to vote at that time, so.
Will you be voting in the European election on Thursday?
Yes.
I think so. I believe
Yeah,
so.
I think I will be.
I think I am.
Why do you think you should be voting in that?
Well, yeah, again, I think it's something that's quite important and close to, well, it's going to impact us in later life, so I feel like it's something we probably should vote on.
Yeah. And how much do you actually know about the European election generally?
I feel like I know quite a lot, but obviously I don't know everything, but I'll probably do some more research towards Thursday.
Yeah,
so I can make sure that I vote the right way.
I know all the parties involved
Yeah.
and what they're all for, but other than that, I'll figure it out when it gets closer.
Would you say you know a lot generally about the European election?
Bits and pieces.
Yeah. Do you think just like a lack of information?
Kind of, because I mean, obviously you find a lot of it in the news, but because there's so much of it, because obviously the whole Brexit thing's been so drawn out, after a while you just kind of get fed up of it. You don't really want to stay up in touch about it anymore, at least I don't anyway.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't really watch the news as such or really read newspapers. It's more kind of what's on like my news app or the odd thing I see on like Facebook or something. So kind of like the odd headline here or there, really.
I'd say I don't really keep that up to date with the news because I just think it's back and forth and there's not really an answer. So I don't tend to go too deep into it, but I am aware of what's going on. Yeah.
So it seems as though young people on the whole either don't have the knowledge about the European election, don't have the time to vote, or simply aren't able to because of where they are signed up to vote. That being said, it does appear as though young people are more inclined to vote for larger votes, such as the European referendum and the European election, in comparison to the local elections. Beth to the Yorkie.
So how can young people inform themselves further on the elections?
There are plenty of online resources available, one of which being isidewith.com, which is a multiple choice quiz where users get to see which party their views mostly align with.
Okay, and social media is also doing its part with platforms like Spotify promoting election-based podcasts and also linking users to external websites with more information.
Facebook's also providing a notification service and a reminder for anyone who needs to vote or hasn't voted yet. It's easy and they tell you where your nearest voting station is as well. Our political correspondent Aleshia spoke to Labour MEP Javad Khan for Yorkshire and the Humber about what young people can do for voting in Europe.
Historically, young people voter turnout has been really low, but in recent years it has been growing greatly. I spoke to Labour MEP candidate Javad Khan about how he got involved in politics and how more young people can get involved. So how did you first get involved in politics?
Yeah, I guess from a young age I was always sort of like politically aware. Growing up in a time where you had the coalition government and all these cuts, like I saw that reflected in my local school, my local hospital, and throughout my community, but I never really got active till I was about 17 years old. And that's because my local candidate at the time, it was the 2015 general election, was Jo Cox, and she was knocking around my area, bumped into her in the street, had a chat, and she said, you share our values, you should sort of join us on a canvassing session sometime. So from there, went on a few canvassing sessions during the general election, and from there, like, I've just never looked back, like got more and more involved in the Labour Party, but sort of really educated about stuff through the trade union movement, because I saw the value of what trade unions do for working people. And at the time, like working in a part-time job myself, like I realised that I needed a union to protect me. And they've always been very good at sort of giving me like political education courses, training courses that really help round and inform what my politics actually are.
Yeah, why do you think it's important that young people are involved in politics?
Yeah, I think it's important because young people get a really bad deal in the economy and society as a whole right now. Employers can legally pay us a different minimum wage, which is much lower, which I think is ridiculous because a pint of milk costs the same whether you're 20 years old, 18 years old, 25 years old, 50 years old. So why should you be paid any different? We're more likely to be on 0 hours contracts. We're more likely to get lower job prospects, less likely to be able to afford a house. We've got rising tuition fees and a marketisation of our education system, which completely shuts us out. So whether you're in education or in work, young people are being really hard done by the economy and society right now. And I think it's important that we make our voice heard, make politicians listen to our concerns, and use one of our most important powers, voting at the ballot box, to sort of defend our interests and promote the issues that young people care about. But not just that, like getting involved, and it doesn't have to be in a political party. Obviously I have my biases and I want everyone to be in the Labour Party, but it can be, like I mentioned before, through trade union, through a local campaign group, through civil society organisations. There are a million ways to get involved politically, and I think it's important young people do that.
It is more important now than ever that young people get out and have their say on what's happening with politics, as many of the issues being debated upon will affect this generation more than any other generation previously. So get out and use your democratic right and go and vote.
We're joined by Aleshia Holt, who spoke to local MEP candidate Javad Khan about the young people's vote. So Aleshia, let's address the elephant in the room. How has Brexit impacted people's understanding of the European elections?
I think a lot of young people who are now eligible to vote were eligible to vote in the EU referendum, so a lot of what they will have heard from 2016 when the referendum happened up to now when they can vote on Europe will have solely been about Brexit. So a lot of their understanding about Europe will only be in relation to Brexit, what it is, how it's going to happen, and all of the chaos that's been happening in Westminster. So I think it's important that young people realise that there's more issues that the European Parliament deal with that are not just solely Brexit related.
So the big issue in the news is Brexit, but after Brexit, what issues are the European Parliament trying to tackle?
I think one of the main ones, and one of the issues that a lot of parties are campaigning on, are the problems with the environment at the moment, so climate change, all of the issues that people are now realising we have with the environment, and we only have such a short space of time to fix them. That is a huge issue that the European Parliament will be facing, and that a lot of parties are campaigning on too. But also local funding in areas. The European Parliament give a lot of money to local communities to fund different projects, and I think that's something not a lot of people, including young people and older people as well, don't know about, which is also a huge issue and not just Brexit related.
So how important is the young person's influence on the European Parliament's decision to combat these issues?
I think it's huge. Like, in reality, a lot of the issues we are facing now, including Brexit and the environment, are things that have a long-lasting impact. With Brexit, it's going to decide who you vote for, will decide on what type of Brexit we have, whether we have another referendum, what will happen to the economy, job stability, everything like that. Similarly with the environment, it's something that is a long-lasting issue. It's something that we need to fix immediately, but the repercussions of us not fixing it or not doing what we should be doing will be felt for these young people's lifetimes. So I think it's massively important that they get out there and have some kind of say on what happens.
Thank you, Aleshia. Some important points about how you can make a difference to the future of this country. Make sure you get out there and use your vote.
You may have noticed a change of scenery at Yorkie TV as we broadcast live from Spark York. Grace Lansbury spoke to the owner of Helston Street to speak about the surrounding anaesthetics at Spark.
So I'm here with Lucy from Helston Street and Spark. So what was the design inspiration for Spark?
So we just wanted a bit of like a festival vibe really going on, so some bright colours, just this kind of space lends itself to some really bright colours. I wanted really Instagrammable as well, so since we put it up I've seen a lot of people taking more pictures, which is really good.
Has anybody from the community done any of the murals on the wall or anything like that?
Yes, a lot of, I don't know the specific names of them, but there's a lot of people that have been involved. There's all different aspects of it, even like the little corners on the container, different people have done stuff. So.
Making Brexit a little bit more interesting, Georgie Reid sampled some of the best drinks available at Spark York.
So it's election day and the country is gripped by suspense. We don't know whether we're going to be even leaving the EU in October, and frankly it's all a bit stressful. You know, it's 12 o'clock, all the bars are open. I think we should go have a bev and see what kind of cocktails and what kind of Brexit special mixes these bars can provide us. So our first stop is the Piccadilly Tap, which doesn't actually do cocktails, but I've been assured they're going to make me something just as strong to either celebrate with or drown my sorrows, depending on how today goes. I'm here with Danny. What are you going to be making us today?
I'm going to be making you a rhubarb cocktail.
That sounds delicious. Do your work. So what's going in that?
We've got rhubarb gin, vodka, cranberry juice.
Thank you,
There you go.
so much.
You're welcome.
That's good. That's a good start to the day. So the Piccadilly Tap hit the spot, but now I'm at the Bohemian Bar, which specialises in gin, to see what they're going to cook up for us today. I'm with Adam, who is going to be making me a lovely cocktail. Adam, what are you going to be making today?
I'm going to start off by making the Parma Violet. To begin with, we line the glass with a bit of lemon juice, and then dip it in some crushed Parma Violets, get a nice rim on the glass. Next, add some iced tea pepper, a couple of frozen raspberries and strawberries, it's a shot of both violet gin to begin with, and then another sweet violet gin.
Ooh.
And then we top it up with the kind of Fever-Tree tonic.
Wow, well that is perhaps the most aesthetically pleasing drink I have ever seen. And that would definitely do the trick in either helping me celebrate or drown my sorrows later on, depending on the election results. So thank you.
Thank you.
So both of those drinks were absolutely delicious. They'll definitely help anyone who's wanting to celebrate or drown their sorrows later on. Of the two, the one from the Bohemian Bar, the Parma Violets cocktail, was definitely my favourite because it had crushed Parma Violet around the rim, which just gave it a lovely sweet taste. However, to say that the Piccadilly Tap is not a cocktail bar, the one that they whipped up for us was absolutely delicious. Definitely recommend them both, but for me personally, the Bohemian Bar gets the crown. Thanks very much, Georgie Reid.
Well, it's been a busy day down at Spark York, discussing all things EU and even trying our very own Brexit cocktail.
That's all from us at the Yorkie. I'm Dan Carter.
And I'm Ava Farley.
Goodbye.
Bye.